I'm, yeah, I'm curious to understand how the maker shot, whether this was looking into the bottle or looking, whether it was a bottle that was cut and he shot through the bottle opening, right? This is a very interesting image. Um, Again, just a feedback, composition. This isn't the rule of third, but maybe try a golden spiral here. Do you guys all know the different composition techniques, right? Yeah. So try something here, right? This also falls in the triangle. It takes me, but it also brings me out of that planet. So you may want to lock yourself into the planet by creating a little more of the dimension. The reason it's coming out is because of these two highlights, right? My eye is getting pulled back. So that's something I would say. Maybe increase it a little more vertical to see if you can bring it down. Also try flipping this one and see if you can take the planet to the right top of the image. I think this was titled Wheels of War. Wheels of War is nice. I can see the tank. I can see the belt of the tank, but this image would have had a lot more impact if I saw what was ahead of me or what was behind me, right? Obviously something happened due to war, right? The belt looks good. The wheels look good, but so it didn't really convey the story to me, right? So I will ask the maker, if you go back to this place, see if you can shoot a little more wide and try to tell the story, well, what the tank is actually going towards or the tank is leaving behind, right? That would help. Oh, so sorry. My apologies.
Hey, John, we lost audio.
My bad. I'm so sorry. I'll restate this one. It was me who muted myself. Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Yep. Okay. Awesome. Beautiful image, shot in a park. What I was trying to say is the maker kept to the theme. They have circles, and there are circles within circles. But what I was trying to say is to create an impact, either follow a pattern, a leading line, right, which is straight, or try to avoid a lot of things that's happening in the image, right? Because I know the theme is circle, but if I put this one, it's just going to be another park image. You may want to tell a story, right? It's kind of busy with too many flowers, water. So there's a lot of competing colors in this image. Am I speaking at the right speed? Zoom people, home people? Okay, perfect.
Any chance of leveling the monitor?
Better or lower? Oh, okay. This is a very interesting image the maker took, right? It almost made me feel that I'm in was it a Ferris wheel? It's not a Ferris wheel. It's kind of some kind of a park ride, amusement ride, right? I'm always scared going in this rides because I never know when chain is going to fall off. But it put me in that shoe. I like the factor that there is a little bit of motion blur in the image, which is giving that speed. But I wish the maker also took the technique of freezing that ride and having the people in motion blur, right? That would have been really, really nice. Maybe the maker handheld the camera, maybe try a tripod, put it on a tripod, stabilize that ride itself and have the people in the blur. So the image is kind of shaky. That would be my only feedback. Again, this image can also be tried going vertical, leading space, bringing into the image. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I did not have any notes for this one. Yeah. Yeah. This is very nice. Very unique way of thinking circles. There was some competing color, right? The red competed with the yellow. If it was just blue and yellow, it would have been very nice. One of the other things I will also say is don't cut the horizon line. See if you can shoot a little low and bring the sky into the picture, or having this one, or go a little high. The horizon line is cutting just at where, whatever that, what do you call it? The nut screw, whatever that is, right? Yeah. So just get it there. Other than that, right, it's good. Okay, this was another image that I really, really liked. I'm still trying to piece this together, how this was shot. Sometimes it looks like it was a glass plate with some drops, some kind of a texture that is maybe a shirt that is being reflected, some oil drops, something. The one thing that kind of made me look at this image a little more is with drops, the borders of the drops would be kind of blending into the surface. This one was very crisp. So which kind of also popped that plate textures. So the maker did a really good job. I really like the composition. There are a lot of things that's going on. I see triangles, right? I see squares, I see circles. So the maker did a very good job on this one. Very unique way of photographing straws. I would have never done this one. I am not a macro photographer, but my wife is. She goes and grabs everything on the stuff, but this is a very unique way. I really, really loved the different colors that played into this image. Maybe 16:9 ratio would have added a little more impact to this image, right? Again, there's a lot of impact. If you still have the original image, you can crop it. I think you should just put it on a stock photo site. I definitely think this will sell. Yeah. I think that's it. We have 8 images here. So you need top two, right? 9, 8, 12.
12 is first, second, third.
Hold on, did some? I went through everything. Okay. Should I say my top now or later?
Let's give you your third place.
My third place went to Planet in a Bottle. That one. Yep. Okay, my second place went to the plastic straws. And my first one went to the oil water plate. Awesome. Very, very beautifully done. I am still trying to figure out whether this was a table mat or some kind of structure. I was not able to piece this together. So one of the things which creates interest and impact is if you are letting the viewer do the puzzle, right? And so this one actually made me think and stay there for a while. So it created a lot of interest. Composition wise, this is really nice. I see a lot of good circles. I see the pebble stones. I think they're pebble stones or whatever that is. Oh, now I think what it is. Maybe it's a table, metal table, because I see screws. They're all in the right places. So that created a lot of interest. It had a good fall off between contrast and highlight. Shadows and highlight creating contrast. So very, very good image. I like going and shooting stuff like this. So I really fell in love with this one. Lot of good details. The maker has used the right aperture so that all parts of the image is really sharp. One thing I would say is maybe show a little more to the side and take the attention to the gauges. In this case, my attention were stuck in the gauges and I couldn't move anywhere else. And if I had shown some keys, some horns, some lights, and then focused on the gauges, then it would have created a little more impact for this one. Beautiful sea spiraling. Sorry, just to distract yourself. I teach a class, it's called Facial Analysis for Impactful Portraits. And one of the things we go over and over again is the concept of golden spirals, right? The old masters mastered that golden spiral technique, and they did this one. So when I saw this one, man, this is golden spiral. It's like beautiful, right? But I wish the maker put the spiral in the golden spiral. So composition plays a role here, right? If you have an opportunity to go back and shoot, I would do this one. Outside that, the sepia tone goes very well for this image. I really like it. Nothing much to say outside that. This is a cool shot. I would have put a slinky, but I would have never shot a twisted slinky. Right, so that is what created interest in this image. And the way the maker handled the lighting, coming in from one side, creating that beautiful highlights, beautiful contrast, was like awesome. Good job, yeah. Good image. I couldn't really relate myself to circles here. There was a lot of lampposts. Maybe the maker visualized the glass jars on the lamppost. What do you call them? Glass jars, glass globes as stuff. But I like the way the leading lines went. Maybe try to shoot from a different perspective to create more impact on this one. This was another image that made me sit here for a while more than what I should have sat for a judging stuff. It looked to me, it's like a bike. It looked to me, it's like a decoration. The depth of field looks shallow, looks sharp. So it also creates a little bit of mystery in this image, right? Because I'm trying to puzzle. So, but at the same time, I was getting lost between these two parts, right? I was not sure I need to look there or look here. So maybe if you have the original file, maybe different cropping, different composition, because when you are walking in a museum, no one's going to explain to you why you shot this image. The images have to self-explain themselves. So that's the feedback I would provide here. Nice image. Looks like the maker focused on the front of this one. I have the feeling the maker might have used a camera with just autofocus, auto exposure, right? You know, where the camera decides everything. I would encourage the maker to go use a little more depth of field, create a little more contrast for this image, which either leads me into the circle or leads me out of the circle. So I'm kind of lost between these two here. This is a very cute idea. I don't eat Cheerios. If I eat Cheerios, it's in a small, it's Fruit Loops. Okay. Fruit Loops. But I really love the way the simplicity of the image. Images don't have to be complex. This image is simple, done from a table, shot at the right perspective. It rightly cropped to be square. It says a lot. Okay. First three? First two. The first one definitely goes to, sure. Oh, number two. Number two, I'm going to give it Sling No More. No, this one. And you actually have the first one on the first spot. With Bejeweled. Yeah, that is it. Yep.
What's the title?
Bejeweled. Yeah.
So, yeah, so you know what? I'm gonna pause here.
I did not give the winners of the last one a chance to speak about their images. So give me just a moment because I'm going to go back. So Slinky was number 2. Yeah, because I'm going to call them out. I got them. So number 3, going back to, let me go back up here real quick. Novice color. So number 3 was Planet in a Bottle by Sarah Pennington here in the room. Hang on a second.
Hi. Yeah, I took that 2 weekends ago with my phone because I couldn't get the camera to focus inside the bottle. That's just shooting down into a wine bottle. And I think it's pointed towards a light source, which is how I got the highlights. The highlights in the top that you mentioned were kind of the bane of my existence while editing this. So no, it's shooting inside the bottle and the bottom has this nice texture that created that effect.
Now I think about it, it's a table, it's like a redness.
Maybe.
Very good. Very good. Number 2 was Plastic Straws by Carolyn Caritas. Did I pronounce your name, Carolyn?
Yes, you did. So yeah,
Go
this
ahead.
one took me a while. I ended up having to use a wide angle lens to crop out the container that they're all in. So, and I don't have a lot of lighting here, but I had some stuff at least to make the colors pop.
Very nice.
Thank you.
And first place, Oil, Water, and Plaid by Carolyn Caritas.
I worked hard the other weekend. So yeah, this is Oil and Water, and I had to rig some stuff up to get the container up above the light. I did some research, and obviously there's a piece of plaid craft paper underneath it, but I was messing with something and I just accidentally hit the focus, and I was able to focus into the bubble of oil, and so I saw the plaid underneath. Otherwise it was just blurred color. So I'm like, all right, well, that works for me. And the way I got the bubbles really tight was I put a drop of Dawn into the water solution, and it made the oil just like tighten up and become an actual circle.
Well done. Well done. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, going back to monochrome, second place, Slinking No More by Sarah Pennington.
So I took that one at a photo event held back in when I was last at this club, which was a while ago. I know it seemed fun, and I've been looking for a place where I can show it off for a while. So I'm glad that y'all liked it.
Showed it off well, didn't she? All right, and the first place winner, Bejeweled by Rick LaDuca.
This photo was taken last week in New York City. I happened to be walking through Times Square and they had a big fabric tent set up, and the entire surface of the tent was covered with these jewels. I don't know if they were glued on or sewed on. And I just got a close up of it. So they're actually jewels.
Well done. Congratulations. All right, we'll move it up to intermediate color.
Okay, so this image is beautiful. I sat on it for a while because I was not sure whether it was a button that was broken or there was a thread running between the button. Was this in a museum, a cartwheel, right? So, so this image has a lot of interest. I should say that one. One thing I struggled was a little bit of lack of technicality on this image, right? Sharpness was missing. Maybe different lighting angle. Maybe this was shot inside a little glass and the maker did not have too much lighting there. And maybe slightly different cropping to add or take me to that image would have helped. Crockett, anyone? This is nice. I was not sure first whether this was candy. Because I didn't see the titles come up first. Nice image. What could help this image is, again, composition, right? Try to maybe flatten the image, not go into a 4:3 ratio. The back of the image looks black. So if this was shot, set up and shot, maybe I will add a little more texture background to it, or a little blurriness, which will create this one. Maybe play with depth of field a little more and some directional lighting to help pop this image. The image was struggling with a little bit of issues on the shadows area. Right time of the year, a lot of pumpkins. Well in theme with your circles. I like my eye flowing out and then coming back to the main pumpkin, which is very nice. That creates a lot of interest. Cropping slightly. Technicality wise, I would also play with the depth of field to see if I can make more impact, because I see a lot of pumpkins and I'm seeing a lot of pumpkins. As a maker, you want to focus on certain pumpkins and ignore some. That's something you want to consider. This is very cool. It almost looked like I was in some kind of a vintage movie theater set with those top bulbs. But then I came to a modern era with LED ring light. So it created a lot of interest. And as I said, right, in images, you want to create that conflict. So it created that conflict. Couple of things from a technique wise, I feel it's kind of overexposed, right? If you all are super technical, you take your eyedropper and you see what kind of luminance. If everything is like 255, 255, 255, you may want to tone it down, right? So that is locking me and not letting me enjoy the other parts of the image. Very cool idea. I think there might be ceramic buttons from the look of them. Try flipping the image to see if you can add additional impact to this image. Try cropping them differently. maybe if you take the viewer's attention along with the buttons to a little bit of surrounding, try to see how that will help. So again, beautiful image, just trying to throw in multiple variations here. Colorful fiber. This is also very interesting. This took me to New York 6th Street, or back in my hometown, back in country India, where you buy everything by yard, right? There was nothing like packaged. There was no Joann's. You always went to a mom and pop shop where everything was like stored. One thing the maker could have done here is shown a little more of the fiber, right? And because I'm pretty sure this place was very colorful. So rather than tightening it and showing 6 bundles of yarn, maybe try showing more of the bundles of yarn and bring in that color harmony and let color speak to this image. Very cool. It almost looked like I was driving through Constitution Avenue and it was raining and I was taking a picture from my car window and the flags on the back were reflecting. Beautiful image. I don't have anything to say about this image. Composition wise, well done. Try flipping it to see if that would have had a little more impact, but it's beautiful. Okay. This image, I want to understand whether it was shot in nature or it was shot in studio. A couple of things which very much intrigued me was water droplets, when they touch, they will blend. So in this case, they were touching, but they were not blending. Maybe they did a technique like the other person, they put Dawn soap. Okay, I'm not sure. So that was something that I was thinking, and I didn't really understand what the gray color was on the leaf. If it is drying, it'll be brown, it'll be like dirty black. I didn't understand the gray. Maybe the maker was trying to cut something out, they missed it. So good image, but because of the gray, it was losing the impact because the gray kept taking you away from the main image. Very simple image, but I like the way maybe they were sitting here on a chair, looking out the window. They focused on this one. 2 things, technicality wise, I would try to focus more on the shadows and highlights, try to bring in focus to that metal spirals. I will also try to change the composition, right? Because when you are locking that circle, it's a circle, but when you're leading or padding that circle, it's a little more impactful. I like the donut which is floating there. I don't know what place this one is. Does anyone know? Dodge Fountain. No, but where is it? Okay. Nice way of thinking. The image looked a little tilted. Fix it. If you did not shoot that way. No. We can see it from the image. Yeah. But outside that, I think this is a well done image. I see circles. I see architecturally, if you're an architectural photographer, I think they will really appreciate this one. Circle within, the concept was very nice, but this failed a little in technicality because of the same thing I explained last time, right? This light, the candle light was overexposed, which kind of took away the impact of that image. So if you have an opportunity to reshoot this image, try to expose for the shadows and adjust for the highlights, or try to shoot in HDR, or if you are using Adobe Photoshop or Lightroom, try to go into Camera Raw and play with your highlights and shadows and manipulate it. That will help. I am not a wine drinker, but I love wine because my wife drinks it all the time, right? So very simplistic image. Composition could have helped. Again, this is cropped tight. If you crop it a little out and bring you into the wine corks, it'll help. Outside that, I think the maker did a good job. Very creative image. I saw this image, I came back to this image. A couple of things I will tell the maker is beautiful creativity, but composition wise, this could have been really helped if you had taken this into a long and put it on either one of the rule of thirds or the golden spiral. This would be a classic image of a golden spiral, where if you had kept the little piece in the golden spiral and then the pencils are all going out, making that seashell pattern, right? That would have told the story much stronger than this one, but it's a beautiful image. Nice image. I struggled a little bit on this one because I was not sure where the light was coming. Maybe the maker used a flash, or maybe something was hitting it, because first light was going this way and then light was coming from the center. But outside that, well done, right? There's not much you can control and shoot here. Whatever the maker did, they did a good job on this one. Typical night image. Beautifully controlled, right? Long exposure, 30 to 60 seconds or more, maybe stacked. The maker took time to create this image. Again, the spiral is dead center. Move it off center to create more impact. This is really cool. I liked the fact that they were focusing on the holy water and they were looking at the window reflection coming in, right? And how that colorful window is putting those disco light patterns on that stuff. I would have never expected a church light to be like that, but it's beautiful. Composition wise, it has been done well. It is handled very well. Okay, this was really, really interesting image. I don't know what place this one is, Alabama Hills. I want to go to this image. This was making me think of many different things, right? I saw two stones or two eggs or two stuff, right? Circles. I saw beautiful waves, which were in the pattern of circle. I saw a sperm whale, which was trying to throw out something, right? In that one, it took me to this hills, but then it brought it back. I wish the maker showed me more of the landscape rather than focusing tightly to this one. So if you have other images, or if you can recrop this image, we would love to see more of this other sides, but focused on the sperm whale. Nice image. I would be watchful of rattlesnakes when you go here. Beautiful, right? Again, took out the nature, got a lot of circles from the nature. Little bit, sky is not overexposed, but complementing to it, I would try to move to a different angle and bring in a little more contrast to the image. You can also try playing this in your post-processing tool. Okay. So going to my little cheat sheet. Number 3 is dew flags. That one. That's number 3. Oh, I need to start with honorable mention? I can. Yes. My first honorable mention was bright buttons. Okay, my second honorable mention was pencil spiral. I was sitting on the fence with that one, but composition really killed it. My second place image was Dodge Fountain. And my first place goes to Alabama Hills.
Catch up here. So Alabama Hills. All right, so the bright buttons, HM. For those on the phone, I'm making notes real quick. Third, second was Dodge Fountain. And first was Alabama Hills, which is where, there it is. Okay, so first honorable mention, Bright Buttons by Patricia Berry. Patricia, you still on mute? Fine. She doesn't want to talk to us. I'll move on to the next one. So the next honorable mention was the pencils.
Yeah, so Tim Pennington, yeah, that's just, I got the idea of looking, trying to come up with the ideas for circles. I get your point about putting a spiral, but I was deliberately putting in the center because I like the symmetry of that. But yeah, I could look at the golden spiral to see how I like that one as well. So, but yeah, that's it.
It's a great movie, as I said, right now, it's the maker's stuff. Yeah.
All right, third place is Droplets and Flags by Bernice Lewis. Bernice, you up? Okay. Second place, Dodge Fountain by Gregory DeQueer, sorry. Greg, yep.
No problem. I'm here. Yeah, Dodge Fountain is in Detroit, Michigan. I was there a couple of weeks ago. And yeah, I was definitely trying to get the building in the middle of the fountain, so to speak. And there's a little tilt because of where I was trying to position myself. Also, I don't know if you noticed it, but there's also another circle down by the American flags, and I was trying to somehow get that in there also.
All right, thank you for that.
Yeah, maybe a tilt shift camera next time would help. A tilt shift lens.
Yeah, loan me some money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can rent that.
And first place, Alabama Hills, Jack Brennan.
Yeah, Jack Brennan. It's the Mobius arch is the kind of intended focal point there. And I don't know why they call it the Alabama Hills. It's in California. But, you know, looking through the photographs that I've taken, looking for circles, was something of a challenge. I guess I take mostly kind of nature shots, and, you know, clear round circles don't abound in my work anyway, but the arch is, it was pretty cool.
Well done. Congratulations to all. Now let's get set up for monochrome. Okay, go to monochrome. And does anybody have a song playing in their head? Anybody? No? A particular song playing in their head now?
Oh, I'll turn on my microphone before I speak. Tiny bubbles makes me think someone's blowing bubbles and I'm clicking them, you know, a lot of activity, commotion. So that is definitely creating interest. Good depth of field. I see a blurred background. I also see a little bit motion blur on the bubbles. Could work in your favor, could go against your favor based on how you see
Photo
it.
club is going on tonight. I forgot.
You're on Zoom.
But outside that, I didn't see anything else to comment on this image. You know, the maker was in the right situation, captured bubbles, and they did it well. Round and round we go. It almost looks like either a floor or something. The one thing that bothered me was the reflection on the image. So if that reflection could be avoided, this image will be more technically correct and more impact center of interest. Sorry, I keep saying the word impact. Interest is what you guys use. But I would say that it's an image. I'm also thinking why the image was slightly out of focus and not sharp. So one thing you all have to remember is your eye always goes to the sharpest part of the image. If there is blurriness, and that's one of the reasons depth of field works for portraits, your eye ignores that and goes to the sharpest part of the image. So in this case, since there is no sharp part of the image, you are struggling. Going around and around. Maybe that goes well with the theme. Yeah. Very nice image. Looks like a feather that was in the ground. I really love the way the circles are in a straight line, the circles are in a triangle, the circles are in circles, right? I couldn't say anything more to this image. Well done. Well done. Okay, this is something I love to see every morning, right? You wake up, you go on a walk, you like to see that beautiful spider cobweb or spider web with dewdrops. The maker did a very good job of creating a pattern, repeating patterns, straight lines, and also keeping the water drops in focus. So well done. Nice job. I always wondered how they made these cannons and how they carried them, and they lost it after firing them, right? Composition is slightly affecting this, right? So again, going back to my earlier points, try to lead yourself into what you're trying to say. So this is kind of in the dead center. That's okay, but try to play with some composition rules into this. Outside that, I don't have anything else to say. Another beautiful spider web. This is even more mysterious because something is getting concentrated in the center. It looks like Fort Knox, where everything is going inside and getting held in one place. What this could have, if this image had a little more tack sharp focus, I think there's focus. Yeah, on the water drops, it would have helped. But composition wise, this is another great composition where you're moving to a focal point. Nice image, very simple. I personally think either flipping this image by moving and going here, or tilting this a little bit, leading into this would help, because the sharpest part of the image is here. So you're kind of going back and forth and you're locking yourself, but you want to go to the brightest part of the image. So the sharpest part and the brightest part are conflicting in this image. So either in post-processing, reduce it or try to focus differently. It would help. But very simple, nice, well done concept. I didn't have anything else to say. As my wife always says, relax, go, because I'm always on the run. I'm always want to do things fast. So this kind of resonated with me. Well done, very simple. Yeah, that's it. This is a very cool image. A ring for your horse. Someone is trying to show me something. I don't know whether it was just put there or it's part of the statue. Almost thinks it's part of the statue. Well done, right? The darkest part of the image, which is the ring, has a lot of detail, but still it makes me go to the subject and then come back to the ring, because the subject is brightly lit. So it's well done. Yet another simplistic image. Very nice. A little more highlighting flare in the coffee could have added some kick to this image. The coffee looks flat. So maybe a little bit of lighting, which is reflecting out of the coffee or something would have made much more impact on this one. Or T circle, so on the T. Okay, this is a beautiful image. This has the right amount of motion blur on certain sides, which is creating the impact that these balloons are moving. Okay, there's beautiful triangles. There's also circles, kind of circles in this image. It's taking me from here and moving me out that way. So well executed. Simplistic image, well done. I'm a little bit struggling with that amount of buttons there. It does not have any detail because the light is coming from here. Maybe the light could have come a little from high above if the maker was staging the shot, which would have created a little more impact. To this image, I'm losing a little detail here, and the blacks are kind of dark. So outside that, composition wise, everything is good. Okay. This is a nice image, but the only feedback I'll give to the maker is they put all the heads in the same pattern. If you had turned the heads to create that movement, this image would have been really nice. Yeah. Yet another simplistic image. Someone's walking. They grabbed a good image. The square crop goes well with that image. Maybe I was a little bit lost. What was this? Does it have a title? Guadalupe Mandala. Okay. If it's a mandala, then the stones are taking my attention out. So because they're competing with the mandala. So darken the stones or brighten the mandala. Okay. I'm like, there's more bubbles. Yeah.
First one.
Okay, my one honorary mention goes to so many buttons. Yeah. What's the title of this one?
This one is.
Okay, got it. Okay, now my number 3 goes to a ring for your horse. Number 2 goes to circles overhead. That one. And number 1 goes to a morning dew on a web. This one.
Mentioned with so many buttons, but by Amy.
First place.
Give me a moment here. There we go. So many buttons. Amy? Or
Yes.
Beth?
Yes. So this was, I found a whole bunch of buttons in a drawer. And so I bought circles and buttons. And I could just trying to use my parents' china. I've never used it. So there you go.
Very good. Very good. And third place, ring for your horse, Tim Pennington.
Yeah, so I don't have a lot of pictures for circles like you had mentioned earlier. So this was taken a few weeks ago at the photo meetup in Middleburg and horse country. And so they have a few of these statues throughout the middle of the town to, I guess, supposedly hitch your horse to if you were still riding a horse in there. So anyway, thank you.
And then second place, Circles Overhead by Fred Gillis. Fred, you online? Perhaps not. So we'll go to Morning Dew on a Web. I do have that name. Give me a moment. Patricia Berry. Patricia, you back up?
I am back up. I wasn't on before. I've been muting, and I apologize that a minute ago I unmuted when it was very loud. Yeah, it was exactly that. It was Morning Dew on a Web, and I just propped it in tight. Didn't do much to it.
Well done.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, so now go to Experienced Color.
Great simplistic image. I think it's shot on top of a doorway. I don't know what exactly that symbol means, but it chimes everything with circles. The only thing I will say is if you have an ability to add contrast to this image, add a little more contrast. This is something I always wanted to try, right? I think they took steel wool and they were spinning it. What kind of conflicted with me was the tonality change. It could have been the bulbs were like that, or the maker was trying to show two differences, right? So if one is warm and the other one is cold, it's nice, but one was in your typical 3800 Kelvin, the other was somewhere between 3000, 2800 stuck Kelvin. So I didn't understand the differences because the light which is coming out from back was daylight. But other than that, nicely executed, framed well. The frame is taking me to those action. Done well. Beautiful. I love being a tourist. So wonderful tourist shot. Someone is in a market. I am thinking it's either one of the flower markets. I'm trying to see if there is a sign which tells me which country it is. But I wish I saw more of those baskets, which put me in the market. This one is just focused on the yellow petals and the red and a little bit of the purple, but it's not telling me a whole story. So if you have another shot, or if you have the ability to recreate or recrop, try that. Oh, this was awesome, right? The maker was really creative. I usually keep my eggshells in the same carton because I won't like to take to the compost pit. My wife always throws it. She thinks it's not good sitting it, but I really related to this one. This was beautiful to show a lot of things. It had symmetries, straight lines, right? It had void, right? Missing eggs. It had fullness. The lighting was beautiful. It was good directional lighting. The shadows have details. The half yoke, it's telling a story, right? So well done, maker. Another simple magical bulb. I don't know where the wires are, but they are lit. They are very well done. Beautiful crop for this story, like your pencil, Tim, right? The 1-1 crop could have worked well, and it's working well. The only thing I will say is the bulb lighting is too bright, which is kind of holding me back. So if you can tone it down and show some tungsten, I think there will be more impact to that. Well-controlled depth of field. Maybe the maker used macro lens, or they used f2.8 or whatever lens that is, but well-controlled depth of field. Beautiful, beautiful color harmony. The placement of the bud is in the right place. So very well done. Oh, I love this image. There's only 2 colors in this image. I really liked it. It was, I don't know whether the the maker diffused all the colors or the house was like this, but it was really simplistic. Maybe I would have tried some other angles of shooting this image to see if it's a little more impactful. This looked like, I was a little bit lost on this one, right? Because it has mystery. First, I was trying to decipher what this one was. Second thing is, I was trying to figure out whether this was something like a dancing light or a fixed filament. And the reason I was struggling because this was out of focus, blurry, and the back ones were in focus. So I was not sure whether there was a long exposure or this was like a shot at high speed sync, capturing something. But it has mystery. It has a globe effect. It has a cage effect. Well done. Very nicely done. You know, the maker really went for looking out for circles. What was conflicting in me was this thing. If I had to remove that one, the number plate in blue color, I think you have more impact. So to that image. Very beautiful, simplistic image. Blue moon, blue light. Well done. One thing I will try is I will try alternating the bottle placement. So back of the bottle forward, back of the bottle forward, which kind of breaks the rule and also creates the symmetry, right? You know, however you want to look at it. So maybe the maker can try it. Morning Glory, my favorite place. Morning Glory, right? I think it's Morning Glory, Yellowstone. Yeah. Beautiful place. I would have seen a little more of the Morning Glory. So when you look at that massive place and all the waters that streams that are leading into Morning Glory, the story would have been much more impactful if this was a little bit of a wide panel telling that story, how that water ends up in the Morning Glory. Beautiful image. Well done. Shadows and highlights well controlled, creating a lot of patterns. Again, this could be a stock image. There's a lot like that, but someone will buy it. We are experienced color. Okay. The third place goes to the green orb. The second place goes to Pretty in Pink. And my winner is my egg.
Number 3 was mine, and it was a crystal ball with long exposure and an LED stick. So that's how we got that effect. Second place is Pretty in Pink by Nikki Halkitis.
Hi there. That was taken at Meadowlark back in the spring. Just a really pretty peony with blurred peonies in the back. So just done with a macro.
Very good. And
you.
first place was The Good Egg by Pat.
Hello, eggs from Costco. Shot in natural light.
He's a
So-
man of few words.
So are you saying Costco has missing eggs and broken eggs?
No, I made boiled eggs already. So
Okay. Got it.
All right, very well done. Congratulations. All right, we'll go on to experienced monochrome.
Beautiful in line with the concept of wheels. Old wheels, carriage wheels, buggy wheels. They're lying there. Maybe a little more dimension to the composition leading into the little more now space. I think it's cropped too tight, but outside that, well done. Maker did a good job with all available light. You can go crazy in post-processing, but this reminded me of my trip to Arizona where I went to see what was the town? Prescott. Prescott was a mining town which was ruined by cyanide, and all they have is things like this left. Nicely captured, but I don't know why the maker put a soft effect to it across, because I think this rusted metal would have popped with details rather than going with the soft subdued effect, right? So if the maker still has the image, I would try to bring in more clarity, more detail, add some grain, and make it look rustic and old, right, into that one. This brings me a Hollywood feel, which is for portraits. Very simple, beautiful image. Thinks me of a Chinese lantern festival where lanterns are flying, right? Beautifully done. I don't have much to say about it because I can see the beams on the roof. I can see the wall, delicate. So very well controlled with an amount of highlights and shadows. Well done. What is the title of this one? Lamp scale, okay. Nice image. One thing I say is left to right. I keep playing this like a broken record. So this is leading me out of the image. Maybe try flipping the image and lead the subject into the image by walking up the steps, right? That could create a little more impact. If someone is walking up the steps, you want them to walk for a while. So crop the image a little more rectangular to create that effect. But can you go back to this image? Yeah, but very good use of triangles, separating the image into golden triangle, right? Now, beautiful. Beautiful image. I don't know what this is. This could be a metal puzzle. It could be some kind of a chandelier, whatever it is, but very well executed, beautiful flow of light, creating a lot of patterns. I like it. Symbol circles, again, beautiful execution laid out. Could have controlled a little bit of light from a technicality standpoint, but outside that, well executed. Dirty iceberg, except that one circle, I didn't see many circles, right? But still the maker met the need, right? The object. What I really loved is the texture that the maker has shown in the dirty iceberg, because this could, you can say many things to it, right? You can create marble textures, you can create backgrounds out of this. So this is beautiful. Well done. Crystal ball in high key. One thing I struggled in the crystal ball in high key was the halo that was going around the crystal ball, right? So when the crystal ball meets stuff, I couldn't really get if it was a reflection because it blended so much like an infinity pattern. There was no dimension to say that it was on a table or anything like that. So that could be the piece of the puzzle, but that's my feedback on this. This again is very well done. right? You know, the way the angle in this image is captured, the Ferris wheel, it almost looks like COVID, nothing is happening, everything is stationary, no people on the Ferris wheel. The lighting is beautiful. There is a dark part of the image and there is a activity in the image. It's well done. This is a little bit of mystery. I did not know. I was thinking whether this is something that was created or this was something that was naturally available. It almost looks like to me like Bart Simpson, right? Or Homer Simpson, right? His face. It also made me think, are these cornfields which are shot from a drone, right? You know, but mystery in this image. Well executed. English mom. Nice suspense. The girl is there looking forward for something. I don't know what's happening, and let's leave it there. In a good way. Horns. Shot well. The feathers are competing for the horns, right? That would be the only thing. So if we tone that horns down or play with it, it'll be a good image, but still well done. Okay. Can you go to the inner circles? Yeah, that gets number 3. Lamps galore. And number 1 goes to the Ferris wheel, yeah.
Circles, Pat.
Hello, Ken. Those are round cookie cutters. So I found things around my kitchen to photograph. So those are 14 different shapes of round cookie cutters stacked on top of each other, shot with natural light.
Good technique. Second place, Lamps Galore by Nikki.
This was at a casino in Atlantic City, and it was the ceiling of a restaurant with many lights, and I did a lot of post-processing on this one to get it to pop like this. So thank you.
Well done. And first place is Night Ferris Wheel, Tom Anglin.
Okay, thank you. That's part of a Ferris wheel at Prince William County Fair pre-COVID. I like the fact that there was the grays, something white, and the black of a shot at night, obviously. But thank you.
Yeah, I like the fact you didn't put the whole Ferris wheel and you just kept part of it.
Well done. Congratulations. Okay, give me just a moment here. I'm going to set it up for Best in Show. So we take all of our first place and put them over here in the other gallery. And now, out of these 6, you get to pick your favorite for Best in Show. Wait, I got one too many in here, don't I? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I do. This one.
No, you got.
Hang on.
I think that was number 2.
The my picture, that one.
Yeah. Thank you. So I can hit delete on that. There we go. Thanks, Pat.
Okay. First of all images were great, right? I hate to put a number and say this is the best, but if I have to choose, I think I'm going to choose for adhering to the theme and also bringing in creativity and imposing technicality and all the stuff. I'm going to give it to the egg. Yeah. Yep.
Best in show.
Oh, thank you very much. So, like I said, I haven't been go out and shoot much, so I just found things around my house to shoot. So thank you.
Thank you. I need to make a Costco visit now.
All right. All right. Well, once again, a great showing by everyone. We had a total of 76 images submitted for this, tonight's competition. I think these are some really creative images that were submitted tonight. And once again, thank you to AJ. Did a fabulous job with the judging. Any last comments or questions from anybody in the crew?
Yeah, just a quick one, and that is, I think the comments, the sort of critical analysis, there were some helpful, actionable comments that I heard tonight, and that was good.
Thank you. As I said earlier, right, if you had put the same images in front of a different judging panel, you would have got different feedback. So it's subjective. Take the best you want to, implement the best, right? That's how I see it. Yeah, and keep creating. Don't stop. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to stop the recording, I think.